The DR650 is as constant as time itself. As someone who was born in the 80s, I can't remember a time when there wasn't a DR650 in some form or another. Pretty much unchanged since 1996, it sadly has been discontinued in all but a couple of countries. So what's the solution? Well, they should make a new DR650. Now, I know some people in Canada or the United States are going to say, well, Curtis, I just bought a new 2024 model. Well, you guys are in the lucky minority. In 2021, the bike was discontinued in Australia, and hell, you haven't been able to buy one in Europe since the early 2000s when Limp Bizkit and Nokia were at their peak.
So why has it been discontinued? Well, you can blame those pesky emissions and ABS laws. Emissions are certainly not a new thing, and the bar for them keeps getting raised. Or is it lowered? In any case, emissions all over the world are getting harder to hit. The ABS laws are a tricky one. Most countries now require it for dual sport and adventure bikes like the DR650. So the first question is, should they even update the DR650? I mean, do people even want a new one? The dog rooter was still selling well in Australia and New Zealand until its discontinuation, and still sells well in Canada and the USA. Why? Well, it's the old saying, if it ain't broke. There are a lot of people out there who still want a simple bike that has proven reliability. There isn't much you can't fix on a DR just using a simple toolkit and a bit of gumption. This obviously appeals to a lot of people. Another question is, what's actually required to sell the bike in other countries? To sell the bike in Australia, it would be very simple. Take the latest Kawasaki KLR 650 for example. While it does have some updates here and there, it's essentially an older model that they've added EFI and ABS to. There's no reason the same thing can't happen here.
To be sold in Europe again, the bike would need a completely new engine or a massive overhaul to meet their strict emissions targets. And here's the thing, it's still being sold in two massive markets, Canada and the United States. If they were to sell it in other countries, would it even be worth it? You want my opinion? Bloody oath it would be.
The market is dying for a modern Japanese mid-size dual sport. The only thing that compares now is the KTM 690 range, and that isn't exactly known for its reliability. What I'm proposing is they keep all the traits we love about the DR, but add modern technology where appropriate. Fuel injection is a no-brainer. EFI is amazing for varied weather conditions and different altitudes. Exactly the type of riding you want to do on the DR. The reliability of EFI is not in question anymore. It has been around since Adam was a boy and is not a problem. Hell, I've had way more problems with carbies than EFI over the years.
Like it's not getting fuel.
The motor itself, I think they should leave it mostly untouched. Some modern updates here and there, and also using modern techniques to boost performance would be fantastic. Oh, and a 6th gear, please. On the suspension side of things, if they could move it into this century, that would be greatly appreciated. Even the budget upside down fork options of today are a massive improvement over the DR's ancient setup. And while we are there, let's add some LED lights too. I don't see why this couldn't be reasonably priced and it would still sell like hotcakes.
But will Suzuki do it? I don't think so. They are a confusing and slow moving company at the best of times. I mean, the RMZ 450, it's got no electric start and hasn't been updated in years, yet they still sponsor the latest motocross and supercross events. The V-Strom 800D is a step in the right direction, and 2026 is coming up, which is the 30th anniversary of the DR650 SE, so who knows, they might surprise us with an overhauled bike. So I've got a couple of questions for you guys. Do you actually want a new DR650, or do you want them just to leave it how it is? Let me know in the comments down below. Hey, before we go, if you haven't, make sure you click that subscribe button. It really helps grow the channel. Most people who watch my channel aren't subscribed. It's really weird. So make sure you click that subscribe button. All right, keep it on the back wheel, everyone. Catches.